So yesterday the rent was due and I paid it, but now I'm officially broke. If you've been following me, then you know I quit a toxic job that gave me a panic attack, and I quit right
What?
after moving into this brand new apartment.
Hold on. Let's read the caption. The caption says last month in apartment eviction question mark slash gig work. Gig work eviction life update.
So yesterday the rent was due and I paid it, but now I'm officially broke. If you've been following me, then you know I quit a toxic job that gave me a panic attack, and I quit right after moving into this brand new apartment. So officially I've been here 3 months now. I've been slacking on doing gig work just because I've been just so depressed. Been trying to do interviews with no offers. So today I'm like, let's just get up and go make some money. Let's go. Got our first order, 2 stops for about. Gotta get some gas. So far, I only made $25, and then I had to put gas in my tank, so that was $25. So
What?
I didn't really make anything today, and I just stopped at my situationship's house to eat. He made some food for me. So
What?
hot, waiting outside in the car, wasting gas. So I'm back home, and I only made $25 today, including the tips. Even the guy that works at the Walmart, who, like, when I do pickup orders, like, they pack up your car for you, even he was saying, like, oh, it's like so dead today, and that's why they kind of doing the bulk orders. So now I'm probably just gonna go apply for jobs. I'm probably gonna get evicted because I don't have any more money to pay for the next month's rent. I really should have just went with my gut and paid the termination lease costs. Um, but I was really hoping and trying to have faith
You
that I
cannot
would
make
get a
this up.
job and that I wouldn't have to do all of that. But yeah, now it's looking like the money I'm gonna have to make this month is gonna have to go towards paying that fee. So yesterday the
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. This is crazy. So let's outline this properly. Okay. So she just moved into a new apartment. And right as she moves into a new apartment, she decides to up and just quit her stable job that she has that probably gave her the confidence to move into this apartment to begin with. But she decided to quit for the reason that she was having panic attacks because of a toxic work environment. So she just quit just like that. And she only had enough money to pay that much rent. Then she said she hadn't been doing gig work. She hadn't been doing any work in the interim because of depression. So she had been choosing not to still bring some income in. But today was the day when she finally mustered it up and said, okay, I'm feeling good today. So now I work. Is the job toxic, or do you have toxic discipline traits? It sounds like you just don't have discipline. And so she didn't make no money. And then she decided to burn even more gas so she can go pull up to her situationship's house. She said her situationship. So if you don't know what a situationship is for the audience, basically that just means she's casually sleeping with some guy and they just have an understanding that that's all they do. And basically basically she wasn't just door dashing groceries. He also put in a, a order and she brought it accordingly is what happened. So she's door dashing groceries and she's also door dashing other amenities alongside it. And so now she's about to get evicted only 1 month in, and she has a 12-month lease. Is anybody going to tell her that? Because she said she should have just paid to break the lease. Is anybody going to tell her that you're going to have to give them 2 months rent in order to break the lease? I doubt you have that money stored and readily available. The self-inflicted wounds. And notice, this all really comes down to a single decision. I outlined all that in order for it to indicate the fact that Had she just not quit her job and waited until she got another job comparable to that one before she quit this one, and if she'd have just dealt with it and did what she had to do, then none of these dominoes would have fallen in the aftermath, and she would be perfectly stable and perfectly able to take care and handle her responsibilities. But now she's in a very volatile and logistically challenging situation. Y'all, before we get into the next clip, if you could like the video, I greatly appreciate it. Only takes a second, and it actually helps out. So let me tell y'all about this. Only takes a second, and it actually helps out more than you know. And also, if you could hype. So it looks like she is replying to a comment, and the comment reads as follows: "You have a good heart. God bless you, and I pray she get back on her feet." But then the caption says, "Woman gets evicted after 2 years of not paying rent." Let me tell y'all about this crazy ass story, because I promise you, you ain't gonna hear it nowhere else. So, back when the pandemic started, a lot of people was using COVID as a reason to stop doing this, that, and the third, although this, that, and the third was already going on, before the pandemic hit. Yeah, that type shit. So there was a woman who stayed in this apartment building owned by this black man. Shout out to the black entrepreneurs. So he has this apartment building or whatever, and during the pandemic, this woman decided to use COVID as the reason why she could not, would not, and should not pay her rent. So here it is. This man finally, after 2 years, decides, it's finally really time to put her out. But you can tell on this video that this man really don't want to put this woman out. So as he's entering into the house, he's asking her, does she need help? She's saying something about her son and how she got to go get her son so he can help her and shit like that. Y'all, this landlord goes and tells her he's going to help her move her shit to her storage unit. And the woman's like, okay, or whatever. She gets in the car, and then they proceed to go. But as they're going, now he's starting to explain that, I'm just not, although this woman did me wrong, I'm not the type of person to just put somebody out on the street knowing that they don't have no means to be okay. So this man not only helped her move her stuff to the storage unit, he put her in a hotel for a few weeks and gave her money for food so she would be okay. See, that's what I mean by it be a bigger picture sometimes. That man is going to be blessed tenfold, because although he was done wrong for 2 years, the fact that he took this one opportunity to just make sure that she was okay. So let me tell y'all about this crazy. Yeah, that's cool. If he's going to be blessed tenfold, then that would mean the opposite's also going to be true on the other side. Like you said, he was done wrong. This woman didn't pay rent for 2 years. And it wasn't because she couldn't. It was clearly because she saw an opportunity not to, because like she said, it was during the shelter in place during the pandemic. So a lot of people were doing that, but it sounds even more egregious. And I would argue the woman probably wasn't that worried about moving out. She had been saving for 2 years. Probably not. Probably been irresponsible with what she was keeping. But either way, sure, he's got a lot of blessings coming. But if you maliciously and intentionally slighted another person, and clearly a good-hearted person, clearly a person with a lot of empathy and who likes to do things the right way, and that likes to be a fair individual. And this is who you slighted. So, yeah, he's going to have some great things waiting on him. But you treating people like that, you got a little bit of extra time, but I wouldn't be looking forward to my future if I'm walking around doing people like this. I would be definitely concerned about karmic retribution if I was that woman. Again, y'all, if you could like the video, it only takes a second and it helps out more than you know. It says eviction, single mother, and we can even read the description really quick. It looks like it's brief. No, it's not. But it ultimately just says the reason I was evicted out of my apartment, basically.
Nonsense. So you guys have been asking me how did I get evicted, and here's my story. I've been complaining about black mold in my apartment for months. It started in the bathroom ceiling, then it crept into the corners of my bedroom. I was coughing nonstop, waking up with headaches. It even started getting skin rashes. I sent photos, I wrote emails, I logged maintenance requests, and still nothing. My landlord kept brushing it off. It's just mildew, she said. Clean it with bleach. Bleach? The mold was eating through the drywall.
Hmm.
And then one day I came home to find an eviction notice taped on my door. No court order, no warning, just a paper saying that I had 5 days to get out. I was stunned and furious. I called her up and I told her she couldn't just have kicked me out over complaints about unsafe living conditions. She showed up in person, loud, aggressive. She said I was a troublemaker. She accused me of damaging the apartment by making it worse with all my cleaning. I told her to get out of my face. She stepped closer. I snapped.
Hmm.
I smacked her right
Oh,
across the face. Not proud of it, but it happened. She stumbled back in shock. She called the
yeah, that's
cops on me. They
shocking.
showed up, took statements. I didn't get arrested, but I did get a notice, this time a formal eviction. Now I'm out of the mold infested hellhole, living somewhere healthier, still fighting the court over the deposit and the medical bills. Moral of the story: document everything and
Hmm.
maybe keep your hands to yourself, no matter how bad your landlord is.
Yeah, definitely just try to exercise some self control. It sounds like the fact that she wasn't prosecuted, it sounds like it went exactly how she said. It's possible that the landlord is really just doing the most. She didn't say that she did not pay rent or anything like that. It's seems like the landlord stepped out of bounds. So the fact that she clearly admitted to assaulting the landlord and she wasn't prosecuted, that pretty much lets you know that the landlord isn't innocent in the situation and she probably may have a good case. And it sounds like she had been having medical expenses associated with this as well. So she was probably justified partially.
Algorithm, I need you to do your thing, right? I'm here, home cleaning, having car issues, and I get a little paper slid through my door, right? Boom, boom. Now, I need to know what is the best course of action to when you receive a paper basically saying you're going to get evicted for something you didn't do. And on top of that, I believe this is actually a mistake. I believe it's meant for the tenants above me. But, you know, for the stress and suffering that I'm already going through, and then add this on top of it, what's the best course of action you should take? Because I was just gonna go down to the office and be like, hey, y'all got me fucked up. This isn't even for me. But TikTok, I need your help. Talk to me. What should I do?
Really? Really, dude? What are you? Yeah, that's what you go do. Go. How about at the beginning, just find out if it's even meant for you to begin with so that you can stop spending energy and bandwidth on something that doesn't even relate to you. It could be possible that they put the wrong notice on your door. Cool. Go down there and find out. Yeah, get the information. You want to know what you do moving forward. It really sounds like, and now I'm almost sure of it because his hashtags say rent, tenant, law, eviction. Law is what stood out to me. So, what this could come down to is, are you trying to find an opportunity to sue them because they put a notice on your door by accident? If that's the case, what are you even talking about? You talking about my car's not working or something of that nature? So, this is a procrastinator. This is a procrastinator. He has to be told what to do. He doesn't handle his business expediently and swiftly. He drags his feet in order to just do and get the information that he needs. That's probably why his cars broke down. The check engine light probably came on. He kept driving it. He didn't want to go find out what the problem was. And then it eventually just gave out on him. Really? You had to come on TikTok for this? Her caption says eviction testimony.
When man says no, God says yes. So on March 5th, I got evicted from my apartment, and I went back and forth, about sharing this, but I know that this is going to bless somebody, especially if you're a single mom watching. So for the past 2 years, I have been carrying this heavy burden of falling behind on my rent. And I want to be very clear, it wasn't anything to do with being irresponsible. I was actively paying my rent, and I also had things lined up to help me, clear up my arrears, but things just weren't moving as quickly as I thought. And just being a single mom, life just started lifing. I felt embarrassed, I felt ashamed, but God had to remind me that this is nothing to be ashamed of. I'm always praying and talking to God, and I'm like, God, I don't know how, I don't know when, but I trust you. And some of you know I had just started school, and so I had money set aside for my tuition. And the day before my eviction, I was getting ready to make that payment, but for some reason it was not going through. And I didn't understand why, but the very next day, that's when I got evicted. And it was almost as if God was protecting me because he already saw what was coming. And I'm always praying for better money management, not realizing what that process actually looks like. Because sometimes we think we know how God is going to do something, but he has his own way. So that when we come out of the thing that we're in, we come out different. Because the word of God says,
I'm not mad at praying for better money management, but we need to stop complicating what money management is. She has her nails done. I don't know if you all saw. She has her nails clearly professionally done. Hold on.
my God, I don't know how, I don't know when, but I trust you. And some of you know I had just started school, and so I had money set aside for my.
And I know the nail police and all this type of stuff are going to definitely be active today. But I'm just bringing this up to say that you're praying for better money management. Do you not know what better money management is? It's simple. Keep more than what you spend. Keep more than what you spend. So you just simply make sure that you come in the green every month instead of the negative. So you just simply get visibility on your expenses. So there's a million different ways you can do it. You can pull out the money that you want to save as soon as you get paid, and then you live off less. Or maybe you pay all your bills and expenses before you even start spending on anything else. Or you just break out a pen and paper and you start writing down what are all your fixed costs every month. Most likely you have a regular job, so it's not like you've got to try to understand the complexities of how much you bring in. That's probably going to be fixed. So now that you understand what your net profit is every month, fixed, then you understand what your fixed expenses are every month. And you may find areas where you can cut there, but at the end of the day, you need to have visibility and you need to have a bird's eye view of that. But what a lot of people like to do is like that bum we just listened to, the guy, they like to pretend like things don't exist and things are going on in the background. And they like to act like they basically like to remain oblivious to it. They like to remain oblivious to it and act like it doesn't exist. People do this with student loans all the time. I can't tell you how many times I've run across people who have student loans and they can't tell you how much they owe. They have no idea. They definitely can't tell you how much interest is accrued. Even if they do possibly know what they owe, they're only going to tell you what the original principal balance was. They don't remember what it actually is now.
better money management, not realizing what that process actually looks like. Because sometimes we think we know how God is going to do something, but he has his own way. So that when we come out of the thing that we're in, we come out different. Because the word of God says that his thoughts are not our thoughts. His ways are not our ways. So fast forward, I go to the court, I come with the payment in full, but they still tried to delay me getting back into my apartment. And I just felt something wasn't right. So I just immediately just started praying to myself, asking God to soften the heart of this judge and to give her the eyes to see through what was happening. So when I sat before the judge, she asked me, she said, so you came with the full payment? I said, yes. And she said, they still won't let you back in your apartment? I said, yes. And she said, oh no, I'm restoring you back to possession today, the same day. And in that moment, I knew that it was nobody but God, because immediately after that scripture, Joel 2:25, I will restore the years. And I immediately started crying because that's exactly what he did for me in that courtroom. And I am just so grateful. I'm grateful for my church. I'm grateful for the mom community that I'm a part of. I'm grateful for the people that prayed for me, that poured into me. I am just so grateful for just everybody who just showed up for me in this season, because I did not have to do it alone anymore.
I'm gonna just say it. And then after all this happened, the first thing you went and did was go get your nails professionally done. I was hoping that this story was going to be her giving a testimony from years ago or something. But as she's explained it, what we have uncovered is this is fairly recent. So regardless if you paid your rent, what this is an indication of is that you didn't have any savings and you were ultimately living check to check. And it was worse than that. You were actually behind. So now you getting into the other side, which is stability in your mind, is basically just you living paycheck to paycheck, which means you have nothing saved, which means there's still a potential for this to happen again, which means instead of getting your nails done, you should have saved that money and you should have started building up a nest egg, because your nails aren't that important, ma'am. And I only bring that up because that's the only visual cue that we can actually trace right now. But I'm sure if we evaluate it further, what we will find is a treasure trove of other things and other areas that she could probably cut out. I wouldn't be surprised. And that's the lesson that you have to take. Sure, you got saved, but again, how are you going to start moving different moving forward? What was revealed to you? What was the revelation that was gained from this situation? The revelation should be you need to have a nest egg. You need to have some money saved up. That way, when uncertain things happen, you are prepared for it. That's money management. Money management is being prepared for the unexpectancies of life as best as you can be, especially from a financial standpoint. So, what is the plan and what are we doing to start moving towards that?
For the people that prayed for me, that poured into me, I am just so grateful for just everybody who just showed up for me in this season, because I did not have to do it alone anymore. And this is more than just me getting my apartment back. This was a test of my faith, because when I tell you I would pray, I don't know how, I don't know when. And when I tell you I serve a God of the impossible, I serve a God of 11:59, I serve a God of and suddenly. I just wasn't saying those things. I actually got to see it in real time. And I don't know who this is for, but if you are watching this and you're going through something heavy, especially eviction, I want you to know that God is in control, because he sees you, he sees the details.
Should we do an audit, y'all? Should we do an audit? I feel like if we go to her profile, we'll probably find some things that's somewhat egregious, because she looks like she could be a lifestyle. And yep, she is. And it's even in her title, faith plus lifestyle. So she is a lifestyle content creator. And so that means she enjoys a lifestyle, which means there's probably going to be areas of her life that she posts that we could see that she should have been saving. So, right here, the most glaring thing is always going to be gourmet
I
coffees and
romanticize my
stuff
life
like
on
that.
purpose, even in busy seasons, even while building. Because if I don't, life will just feel like
I
work,
wrote,
responsibility, and pressure. So, yeah.
I romanticize my life on purpose. That's what she said. And the caption says, solo cafe reset as a single mom building her life.
Yeah, sometimes I just take myself to a cafe, get my favorite drink, sit for a minute. Nothing crazy, but it reminds me that I'm allowed to enjoy my life now, not just when everything is perfect. And one day, this won't be just a quick reset. It'll be my new normal.
That's a nice cafe. I might go to a little cafe. There is a very nice coffee cafe near where I live, and I haven't been in a while. I'll probably go visit today, read my book. But listen, it's not too much stuff like that. She's usually in the house and doing things. So it's not too much stuff, and I'm not trying to nitpick too much. But what I ultimately want to bring to the light is that if you're living paycheck to paycheck month after month, that is an emergency. You don't get to be comfortable at the coffee shop, in my opinion. That is an emergency, especially if you have children. Now, if you're single and you're solo and it's just you, then you can take under a bridge chances. But when you have kids, you don't get to take those chances, and you have to prioritize structure, order, and stability. Stability. Stability means that you should have an emergency fund. Let's just get practical. I'm not going to keep being so ominous. You need to have an emergency fund. In my opinion, at least 6 months of your living expenses saved. Notice I didn't just say rent. 6 months of your living expenses saved. You have direct control over what your living expenses is. If you've got rent and then your car payment is also comparable to rent, if your rent is $1,500 and your car payment is $1,300, you need to have both those combined as well as other things. Everything in totality, I think you need to have 6 months bare minimum. If you don't have that bare minimum, you're in an emergency, in my opinion. And that doesn't mean you can't do nice things, but at the very least, have some type of system to where you know that you're feeding the machine. And by machine, I ultimately just mean your bank account or your brokerage account, ultimately your financial future. And we can even call it retirement. People are not preparing or saving for retirement. Like it's not going to be a thing. And the analysts are very skeptical on whether or not Social Security will still be a thing moving forward. At the very least, I think they will push back the age for Social Security to when you'll be eligible to receive it, at the very least. But we just need to be more intentional about that, in my opinion.
And I am a content creator and I get brand deals.
Her caption says, not everyone is struggling.
I just got my teeth done a couple of weeks ago, right? And so I posted about it. Then I got a comment under it, someone asking me, how was I able to afford it? I responded, I work. Like, I work and I save, and I am a content creator and I get brand deals. And somebody else responded to her comment and basically was saying how people are affording it because they're in credit card debt, just these other ways that just was negative. And so then she responded and said, thank you, because I just feel like a bunch of people on this app are not being truthful. Who's not being truthful? Because number one, I'm never going to get on the internet and lie about something. I've never been that type. And number two, y'all do know that not everybody is struggling, right? Some people actually can afford nice things. We really need to get out of this persona that everybody is struggling, because that's not true. Not everybody is in credit card debt.
She said she's getting them brand deals. I've conducted a few analyses over probably the last month, and apparently I should be getting some brand deals. Brand deals, holla at your boy. Listen, I'm professional. I don't swear like that. I barely swear. Holla at me. But no, she's right. I mean, not everyone's struggling. And it really just comes down to systems and also opportunities. And I'm seeing a lot of people who want to be single, but I'm not seeing a lot of people who want to work at a high rate, at a high capacity. She has a lot of things going on. So she gets that luxury. But it amazes me how many people want to be single and then they take on other responsibilities, i.e., kids, i.e., animals, i.e., just a lot of overhead. And by overhead, I just mean a lot of expenses. They need the newest car, they need the nicest apartment with all the amenities and the sky pool, infinity pool, excuse me, and all this stuff, and the nice gym membership and subscriptions, everything. They have all these responsibilities, but yet they don't want to be a workhorse. They don't want to be someone whose standard is to work at least 100 hours a week. But yet you want to be single with a lot of overhead, whatever that looks like.
Are people who actually just have a great job that pays well. There are people who actually just know how to save their money. I know people who make $50,000 a year, but their savings account is double that because they know how to save their money and they don't have to try to live this lifestyle that they can't afford. And I think that is the problem. People are trying to afford a lifestyle that it just doesn't fit them. You can't afford it. So you're trying to perpetrate something that it's not even you. But one thing I'm learning about this social media stuff is that people will comment negative things on your video because they are going through something themselves. So they have to post negative things about you so that they can feel better about themselves. So at the end of the day, it doesn't faze me. I don't let it affect me because it truly has nothing to do with me. Please, 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 please need to stop with this mindset that everybody is struggling, because no, they're not. I just got my teeth done.
She's grounded. And she's grounded just by probably a lot of her habits. A lot of those things will do the heavy lifting. You can tell she's got good habits, good balance, but at the same time, she works extremely hard. You can just tell by her demeanor and the way she carries herself. And so she plays hard probably too. A lot of people just want to play hard, but they don't want to work hard. A lot of people just want what they want, but they want it for free. And what they deem free in most cases is just putting it on a credit card, or even worse now, buy now, pay later apps. Oh my goodness. These buy now, pay later apps are destroying people. Klarna, Affirm. You have people financing vacations. Imagine you take a weekend vacation, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. So you get an experience of 3 days, and then now you have to spend the next 6 months paying it back off. And it wasn't cheap. If it was $5,000 now, or let's just say $3,000, now you're paying $500 a month for something you've already done. I hope the pictures are worth it. This is what we deal with out here. Y'all, we're going to leave it there for today, though. If you could like the video, greatly appreciate it. It only takes a second, and it actually helps out more than you know. And also, if you could hype the video. Hype is a new feature that YouTube offers where it helps smaller content creators like myself. And basically, when you hype, it actually pushes us to the extent that it pushes the larger content creators. So you just press the hype button and it shows the points. And since I am a smaller creator, a smaller channel, we actually get more points per hype. And hype was designed for smaller channels. So that's why. And also, if you come across a video and you don't see the hype button, then it's probably been over 7 days, and hype usually vanishes after 7 days. So that's why you won't see it. So from my experience, best practice is to just go ahead and hype while the iron is hot on a newer video if you do want to hype. And then also, if you want to become a member, then you should see that join button on the video as well. And what becoming a member of the DXU family would come with is you would get badges next to your comments where people will clearly be able to see that you're a member, and it will show when you leave comments. And then also you would get early access to content as well as exclusive content. So again, if you want to become a member, then the join button's on this video. But until then, I'll catch you on the next video.